10 real estate test questions that you're going to see on the real estate exam. These are going to be related to loans. Before we start studying these questions, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. Question number 1. Which statement is true? A. Borrower cannot qualify for a conventional loan unless he or she can make a 20% down payment. B. Private mortgage insurance is available for FHA loans. C. A borrower can request the cancellation of PMI payments when the equity reaches 20% of the appraised value. D. A lender can continue to collect PMI payments until the homeowner's equity reaches 25%. The answer is C. PMI, private mortgage insurance, is required on conventional loans when the borrower cannot afford a 20% down payment. The borrower will be required to pay for the insurance until the equity equals 20% of the purchase price or appraised value, and then they can request the PMI be canceled. Question number 2. Which of these is also called a contract for deed? A. Purchase money mortgage. B. Lease purchase. C. Second mortgage. D. Installment land sales contract. The answer is D. With a contract for deed or installment land sales contract, the buyer does not receive legal title until the final payment on the property is made. It's called this because the buyer is making installment payments on the property directly to the owner and will not receive the deed until the installment price is paid in full. So with this question, it's really important to understand what each of the answers is, or you understand the terminology of each of those answers. Question number 3. Which of these statements is true about a CalVet loan? A. Loan terms are from 15 to 25 years. B. If the loan is VA guaranteed, no down payment is required. C. There is a 6-month prepayment penalty for paying off the loan early. D. Interest rates are typically fixed rate. The answer is B. The CalVet loan is a land contract that is available to California residents who meet the veteran requirements. CalVet loans have below market variable interest rates, a 30-year long term, no prepayment penalty, and no down payment if VA guaranteed. This question is related to CalVet loan. It'd be really important you just understand some basics about the CalVet loan. You probably won't get a ton of questions on it for the test. It's good to understand a wide range of different loan topics. You don't need to go super deep and be super knowledgeable on each of them, but you do need to know a little bit about most of the loan products. Question number 4. Which of the following is not true about reverse annuity mortgages? A. The lender makes payments to the borrower. B. This mortgage type is popular among the elderly. C. The borrower pays a fixed rate of interest. D. The loan must be repaid before the borrower's death. The answer is D. With reverse annuity mortgages, the lender makes payments to older property owners based on the equity in the home. In return, the owner pays a fixed interest rate and repays the loan either when the home sells or from the borrower's estate upon their death. The loan is repaid before the borrower's death only if the borrower sells the home. So, like I said previously, you need to have a basic understanding of each of the loan products, right? So reverse annuity mortgage, you don't need to know everything about it, but you do need to understand the basics and how it works. And then very specifically with this question, it's a not true question, right? So when I read a not true question, what I'll do is I'll go through the answers, and if I know it's true immediately, I can just cross it off. I know that's not going to be the answer. Question number 5. Lenders can charge all of the following except which fee when a borrower gets a loan? A. Loan origination fee. B. Points. C. Survey fee. D. Discount points. The answer is C. Lenders can charge loan origination fees to cover the lender's cost for generating the loan. Points as prepaid interest, so the lender can obtain additional income on the loan, and discount points to offset any losses the lender might encounter when selling the loan to the secondary mortgage market. So this one, you basically have to understand what are allowable fees lenders can charge to the borrowers. Okay, so we're halfway through the test questions. If you like studying with me and you like these types of test questions, drop me a comment so I know that you want me to keep making these types of videos to help you pass the real estate exam. Question number 6. A blanket mortgage. A. Covers more than one piece of property. B. Entails entering into 2 agreements simultaneously. C. Is subordinate to a first mortgage. D. Reduces the monthly payment for a borrower during the initial years. The answer is A. Basically, you just need to understand what a blanket mortgage is. This is just straight up asking you for the definition. And I'm going to give you the definition. A blanket mortgage is typically used by land developers who buy a plot of land to divide up into several separate lots. This mortgage covers more than one piece of land, so all of the separate lots are covered. It also allows for an individual lot to be released from the mortgage if a certain part of the loan is repaid. There you have it, folks, a blanket mortgage. Ooh, question number 7, another definition question. A growing equity mortgage. A. Is an adjustable rate loan. B. Allows quick repayment of the loan through accelerated payments. C. Includes a margin. D. Has a payment cap. The answer is B. A growing equity mortgage is a fixed rate loan in which payments increase by a predetermined amount each year. This allows repayment of the loan much more quickly. The payments are increasing, so you're paying down, or the borrower is paying down principal at an accelerated rate compared to a normal loan. Question number 8. Oh, we gotta do a little math here. Mark gets a home loan and the lender will charge him 3 points at closing. If the loan is for $68,000, what will Mark be assessed in points? Mark, 3 points sounds like you're getting ripped off, bud. If you're getting charged 3 points, give me a call. A. $680. B. $1,360. C. $2,040. D. $2,720. So the answer is C, $2,040. And how do we get to this answer? You need to understand what a point is. So a point, by definition, is 1% of the loan amount. So in this scenario, 1 point is $680. Mark is getting charged 3 points, so we're going to do 680 times 3, which equals $2,040. Question number 9. Which loan covers the period of time between the end of one mortgage and the beginning of another? A. Construction. B. Wraparound. C. Open end. D. Bridge. The answer is D. A bridge loan is typically used between the end of a construction loan and the issue of a permanent loan. Or bridge loans are also used to fund the purchase of a new home before the current home is sold. Bridge loans are typically used for these 2 types of situations because they are short-term loans that just cover the period between the end of one loan and the beginning of another. So it's exactly what it sounds like, a bridge between one and another. Last but not least, question number 10. Which of the following is a low loan-to-value ratio? A. Jake is getting a VA loan with no down payment. B. Sandy and Bill are putting 30% down on their home purchase. C. Alice is getting a conventional loan and making a 15% down payment. D. Tim and Gail have qualified for an FHA loan. Okay, before we even go into the answers, you need to know what loan to value means. And then you need to basically be able to assess what's low and high. And just right off the bat, if you know what loan to value means, you can eliminate answer D because that doesn't talk anything about loan to value. It just says they're qualified for an FHA loan. The answer is B. Sandy and Bill are putting 30% down on their home purchase. And so the loan to value ratio is the ratio of debt to the value of the property. And so what that means is when Sandy and Bill are putting 30% down on their home purchase, their loan to value ratio is 70%. And so in this specific example, Sandy and Bill are putting the most down payment, so their loan to value ratio is the lowest. Like Jake is getting a VA loan with no down payment. He's putting 0% down. That means his loan to value ratio is 100%. Alice is putting 15% down. That means her loan to value ratio is 85%. So in this example, Sandy and Bill, 30% down, 70% loan to value, which would be the lowest out of the options here. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. Because you're so dedicated to your studies and I want to see you pass your real estate exam, I have a bonus question for you. Question number bonus. In which of the following types of loans is the payment allocated only to interest? A, straight. B, balloon. C, amortized. D, adjustable rate. The answer is A. With a straight loan, all payments are allocated only to interest, with no principal being paid until the end of the term, and that's when the borrower must pay off the entire principal amount or get another loan. I hope you see these questions on your real estate exam and you know them and you just knock it out of the park. You ace these questions, you pass your test. If you have any questions or you passed your exam, email me. I love to hear about other people's success stories.